Bevan, and I've been in Forever Living now for 9 years. It was 9 years in January that I started on my Forever journey. And I wasn't really a quick kind of builder in the business. I did things pretty slowly. It took me 6 months to recruit my first person, took me 9 months to get to supervisor, and in total 2 years to get to manager. And I think the reason why that was is because when I first started my business, I had lots of limiting beliefs. I told myself some really bad things like that you'll never do it, are you crazy? I listened to the opinions of other people around me. And what happened is I built a very solid customer base, which was fantastic, because I was in £35,000 worth of debt. I needed an extra couple of £100 per month, and that's what Forever did for me. Things changed when somebody asked me to join my team. And I realized at that point that actually, I kind of need to learn a little bit now, because she wanted to know what she needed to do, and I didn't really know what to say. I don't really know how to teach her. So I had to become a student. And actually, one of the first things that I learned in that time was the power of becoming a supervisor. So I'm really excited about today is to share with you is breaking down supervisor, helping you think a little bit bigger, but also then leaving it with an amazing plan in place of activity that you will be able to go away and do. How does that sound? Let's try that again. How does that sound? Yeah? Are we all having a fabulous day? Let's raise the roof with energy. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. So, just to let you know, to get to supervisor, you need 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months. Anybody like me that thought, that's the catch of the business? Anybody a little bit skeptical when they first started their Forever business? That's the catch. You told me I only needed to do 4. Where's this 25 case credits coming from? How am I supposed to do that? Anybody else think the same? That's the catch. But if you look, we break it down. Gemma did an amazing slot this morning talking about how to do your 4 case credits. So if you've got a team of people that you're helping do the same thing, then that's going to move you through the marketing plan to supervisor. So if you've got all 4 of you in month 1 doing 4 case credits, that's 16. You all do 4 case credits in month 2, that's another 16. That's 32 case credits. You only needed 25 to become a supervisor. Now, does it sound a little bit too good to be true? No, because it's all in the planning. But it's the activity that you need to master to get you to this point. Because that sounds great on a screen, but it's like, that's wonderful, Jules. But how do I even show other people how to do their 4 case credits? Well, that's what I'm going to teach you to do today. When you become a supervisor, you get a 38% profit off everything that you retail. As a supervisor, you'll be doing the same thing that you were doing as an assistant supervisor, but you're getting paid more. So why wouldn't you just get to supervisor? So let's have a little look. The power of your 4 case credits. The easiest way to break it down is maybe we might use about half to 1, but let's say you use a case credit, you retail 2 case credits, and you recruit somebody into your team. Now, if you teach other people how to do the same thing, in actual fact, that is what is going to move your business forward. But I'm going to challenge you not to be average. Because the average FBO will do 4.0 something case credits. I'm going to challenge you to be above average. And you want to be focusing on doing 6 to 8 case credits. Because there's a few things that will happen if you master the basis of doing 6 to 8 case credits. You'll always do your 4. And when you get to supervisor, to access that leadership bonus, you have to be 4 case credit active. And if you're so used to doing 4 case credits per month, and life maybe gets in the way, life get in the way for anybody much? Yeah, it always gets in the way. Some people might break a nail, life has ended, you know. But the reality is, if you break a nail and life gets in the way one month, you might not end up doing your 4, because you've been so focused on just 4. But if you're doing 6 to 8 case credits and life gets in the way, you'll always end up doing your 4 case credits. So that's my first way of saying don't be average. Always focus on how to build a business above. And if you become above average things will happen for you. The other thing that I would say is I'm going to show you a plan in a second, and you might think, Jules, why are you showing me this plan? You're supposed to be talking about how to get to supervisor. Well, what I've learned along my forever journey is what I focus on is what I achieve. So if I focus on becoming a supervisor, which I did, 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months, amazing. Guess what happened? I achieved 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months. But if you break it down and you think way outside the box and you challenge yourself just to dream a little bit bigger, and you focus on a business that can take you all the way to manager, you'll realize that supervisor is just a stepping stone. And if you can get to supervisor and you share how other people can get to supervisor, it's going to naturally move you right through the marketing plan to manager. But that will not be on your radar, and I would be sat here or stood here doing an injustice to you, telling you how to do just 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months, because that's all you'll achieve. Why not build a business that you can do 120 case credits over over a period of time, and I'm going to show you that in a second. And the other thing that I want you to do is upgrade your mind. So upgrade the people that you spend the time with. Upgrade the people that you give your focus on. What do I mean by that? I used to focus on the people that used to go, oh, still doing that aloe? Still selling that aloe? I'm like, yeah, babes, yeah, still selling the aloe. I'm having an amazing time selling the aloe. Just did my dream barn conversion out in the country, driving in my Range Rover. Not bad for a little bit of aloe. But you see, in the beginning, even when I was achieving great things in Forever, those people would just knock me dead one day. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, and the insecurity would take over. So you've got to ignore the noise of the people around you. You've got to ignore whether it took your upline 2 years to get to manager, like me. You've got to look at what you want. And I am telling you now that if you want to get to supervisor, manager, assistant manager, sapphire, in whatever date that you set yourself that goal, you will do it. So I really urge you to be the person that doesn't hold themselves back. Don't be like me. Don't waste that time on your business thinking about it. Do we all do a lot of thinking? Right, I'm thinking about speaking to this person in the coffee queue because she looks like she will be amazing. I'm thinking about putting my card through that letterbox because I think that door looks amazing. I'm thinking about contacting my manager that I used to work with in Lloyd's TSB because they would be amazing. I get to the end of the day and I think, oh my word, I worked so hard today. But I didn't do anything, I was thinking about it. Yeah? And then the hard work, which is why I was drained and exhausted, because apart from thinking about the people I was going to speak to, then I had the other part of my brain that was telling me how rubbish I was and they were never going to join your team anyway, and that was the exhausting bit. Yeah? We all get it? You're all nodding, I know you're like me. So what you need to do is you need to be very, very aware on this process that you're going to go towards now, that these thought processes will come in your mind. And you have to be very aware of your thoughts. And today you'll go away pumped, you'll have your 7-day plan, you'll have your activity plan, you're going to rule the world. And then something will happen. That's the point where you need to be very, very strong in your mind and recognize the thought and the self-sabotage that's coming in. And you knock it out and you say, no, I'm not listening to you today. My negativity is this side of my brain. I'm not listening to you today. I'm listening to this side. Try not to do it out in public where you're talking in front of people. It might get a little bit awkward. But raise your vibration, raise your energy, and go for greatness. And this is what I want to focus on. I want you to focus on this 5-step manager plan. Now, if I told you that month 1, we can all do 4 CCs, we can all do 5, 6 personal case credits. But if I told you to just do 5, and I'll show you this in a second, and then recruit somebody into your team, which will then mean that month 2, you've got you and another person to work with. And all right, you might look at that and go, yeah, but Jules, that's not 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months. You're selling me short. But no, I'm not selling you short, because what happens in month 5 is huge, and what happens in month 6 is huge. If you focus on supervisor over 2 consecutive months, you'll achieve supervisor over 2 consecutive months. Focus on manager in 6 months, you'll get to manager in 6 months if you put the work and the activity in with it. So I'd take a screenshot of this, and I would print it out, and I would put it on your goal board or somewhere where you can see it every single day. And you want to break it down and plan. So month 1 is 5 case credits. Where's your 5 case credits going to come from? Month 2 is 10 case credits. Where's the 10 case credits going to come from? And you plan it. And you don't leave your business to chance. Anybody get to the end of the month and go, oh, God, why didn't I achieve 50 case credits? Why didn't I achieve my 4? And then you think, none of us will say to ourselves, well, because you didn't actually sit down and plan out 50 case credits, did you? You planned who you were going to lunch with, you planned who you were thinking about talking to, you planned, all the other bits and bobs that aren't maybe income generating activity. You want to know exactly where all your case credits are coming from, and that's why planning it out, making it visual, looking at it, somewhere where you can see it every single day, will be amazing for you. Because when I used to plan my business out in the beginning stages, I'd plan it out, I'd be like, amazing, absolutely fab, put it in the corner, and then by like the 31st of the month, I'd forget the plan that I'd written day 1. So it wasn't going to happen anyway. So you need to have it visual somewhere you can see it every single day. And then month 4, 30, month 5, 50, and month 6, 70. Because what you've done then is you've built a business of 120 case credits over 2 consecutive months as opposed to 25. Because I'll tell you the other thing that will happen. If you set yourself a goal of supervisor, to get to supervisor, you'll do what I did. And I got to supervisor. And I thought I was the best thing since sliced bread, walking around with my blue little lanyard. Everyone knew I was a supervisor. And I gave myself a couple of months off. God, I worked so hard to get to supervisor. Anybody do the same? You're all laughing because you've done it. That's why you're laughing. You think, oh gosh, I've worked so hard. Or you get to assistant manager and you think, yes, I'm there, I'm amazing. And you stop. But this plan won't allow you to stop, because your goal is supervisor will be the stepping stone to get you further. Why sell yourself short? Don't you think enough in life people have sold you too short? You've joined an amazing company, a company that you are in control, a company where you can have and achieve and be whoever you want to be. Don't do what society and everybody else has done to you and put limitations on yourself. Do not sell yourself short. You can have and be whatever, even if you don't even believe it yet. You've got to borrow my belief, or your upline, or whoever you look up to. Borrow their belief in you, because you can totally do it. So, all right, supervisor over 2 consecutive months, but how about manager in 6 months? Let's put that on the goal board, yeah? Let's put that on the goal board, yeah? Yes, amazing. So if you do it, you'll see your team do it. And if your team do it, now you're in momentum. And Gemma said earlier about momentum. And when momentum kicks in, it's really hard to stop. It's also very good to understand your stats. My stats in my business, out of every 5 supervisors, 1 will become a manager. But I wouldn't plan my team to supervisor. I'm not letting them sell themselves short. I'm going to believe in them. And when you recruit somebody into your team, they need you to believe in them. And the majority of the secrets to success is belief. So go and spread that belief. Tell yourself 100 times a day that you can have it. You are a manager. Because if you believe it, you're going to spread that belief on other people. And that is what's going to take you through. Then obviously you need to do some activity, because you can't just sit and dream it and wish it, although we all kind of probably do that and think, oh gosh, come on universe, give it to me. And then you don't do any activity, because that's just crazy. That's not going to happen. That is too good to be true. But what I've done here is I've written down an activity plan of what I would suggest that you focus on every single month. 6 to 8 case credits in retail. I don't need to talk through it. You know you need to do the activity, and they're the different things that you can do. Your retail plan and your recruitment plan. And it's so important that you have both. Some people say, I'll just focus on my retail. But you want to focus on both, because you want to build a momentum in both. And the reason why maybe some people might say, I'm just going to recruit, I'm just going to retail, is because they believe that they can retail. They don't quite believe that they can recruit yet. And that's what I mean about the belief. That's where you need to put that belief in people that they can do the same thing. So I have a retail activity, recruitment activity, and I teach it. And you want to teach it, first of all, you need to do it yourself. Because if you don't do it yourself, then you're not leading by example. I would never expect my team to do something that I wasn't prepared to do myself. End of. You are the leader. So you teach it, you duplicate it, you might enhance it along the way with things that will come in, but do not change it. Do not ever change this business cycle. This business cycle and the tools that we have has worked for 40 years. There is no accident of people that achieve incredible things in forever. They didn't go and reinvent the wheel. I tried to reinvent the wheel. Didn't work. I came straight back on to the forever way of doing things. My business exploded. Once I did the activity. See, we can be very guilty of trying to look at all different things to do and blame a system as opposed to blaming your lack of activity. Don't be that person. I was that person. Stick to the simple cycle. Stick to the people that are doing it. Listen to them, follow them. And all you have to do is do it. But you have to do it over a consistent period of time. You're going to look at, I'd say 6 to 8, 8 to 12 weeks lead-up time. The reason why I say 8 to 12 weeks now is because for me, my lead-up time has changed a little bit. I'm not sure why, but you know, the great thing is that because I know my stats, I know my lead-up, I know everything about my business, I can plan effectively. So what I mean by that is the results that you see in your business now would be from the activity that you did 6 to 8 weeks ago, or 8 to 12 weeks ago. So if you're sat here now thinking, I'm not getting any results, no one's joining me, nothing's happening, sit and look at your diary at the things that you did 6 to 8 weeks ago, 8 to 12 weeks ago, and it will paint a very clear picture to you. You don't have to tell anybody, you don't have to skyride it, but you'll know. And you take responsibility yourself. Now you have to implement the cycle and you have to do your activity on a consistent basis every single day. So when we work in a job, what do we work? 9 till 5, most of us? 5 days a week? What would happen if on Tuesday you phoned your boss and went, hey boss, listen, sun's out. Sorry, not coming in today because I'm just going to go down Bally Beach with the fam. They'd be like, you better get on your car, get on your bike and get into work, because if you don't get into work, I'm not paying you. And that's how we need to treat our business. It's so tempting because we haven't got anybody knocking us in the back and saying, you better do some work, or actually, if you don't come in today, you're not going to get paid. We don't have that in forever, do we? So we have to be our own self-discipline. So why don't you become your own boss and start telling yourself that if you take this day off of activity, what is going to happen in the long run? Because you don't want to stop that momentum. I got to supervisor, had amazing momentum that probably could have taken me to manager. But I kicked my heels up and thought, I've made it, I've done it. And I stopped the activity. So then I had another 6 to 8 weeks of building momentum again. So always stay active. It becomes a life. It becomes your activity that is a daily activity, a daily habit. that feels so weird now if you don't do it. So those activity plans, find a way to put it into your life. Find a way to fit it into the nooks and crannies. So it's something you do every day. And there's something that is amazing that will happen. If you are on a roll and you complete your contacts and you complete your retail activity every single day, correct me if I'm wrong, do you not feel like you can literally rule the world? When you've contacted your 5 people a day, do you feel like, oh my gosh, I am amazing? Do you feel like that? Yeah? And then what about the days where you don't? Because you've popped down Barry Beach for an hour. What about the days you don't do that activity? Do you feel a bit, oh God, I'm so rubbish. I couldn't even stick to do my 5 contacts a day. I'm so crap, I'm so rubbish, why am I doing it? And what happens? You pull yourself down. So the next day, you're going to feel even worse. You want to go and make some phone calls and make yourself feel a little bit uncomfortable on the day that you've just pulled yourself down even more. You're not going to want to do it. So that's why you continue to be really consistent. You continue with your activity. You'll feel ace every day, and you'll just want to carry on doing it every day because you won't have you, which is your own worst enemy, pulling you down. So be active. Stay active and never ever give up, because I genuinely mean this, the only people that will fail, and not just in this business, in anything that they're striving for success, the only people that fail are the ones that quit. I remember ringing Natalie saying, Nat, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to quit, I can't do it. I don't know what I couldn't do because I wasn't doing anything. But I can't do it. And she said, okay. And I thought, oh my word, like she's supposed to beg me to stay. But she said, okay, and literally that was the biggest fear that got put into me ever. And I think to myself now, it makes me shudder. I think, oh my word, imagine I'd given up all those years ago. Not for the fact of the life that I've created for myself, but what about the people that I've helped along the way? Do you know I recruited somebody last week who was the first person I ever showed the opportunity to? 9 years ago. It's crazy, right? But her life, what if I wasn't doing forever anymore? She is in dire straits. She's in desperate need. She needs something. Imagine I wasn't doing forever. I couldn't be that lifeline for her. So never give up, because you owe it to yourself, but you also owe it to the people around you. So get active, stay active, tell yourself you can, raise your vibration, your vision, and never give up. And amazing things will happen. Thank you very much.